And we are back on Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Shanfelt, and I am now joined by former NFL Pro Bowl running back, and he is actually an artist now, the owner of Team IME. He is Thomas Jones. How's it going, Thomas?
Hey, doing well, man. Doing well. Just enjoying this retired life right now, working with my artists. I'm not actually an artist myself, but I have 4 artists, so it's close enough because I'm in the studio with them enough.
Sounds good. So I want to talk a little bit about, I want to start this interview to talk a little bit about your college career as you attended the University of Virginia. What was it about that school, and why did you decide to go there?
I went to the University of Virginia because, I'm a Virginia native. I had a really productive high school career. I was actually in the top 5 running backs in the country coming out of high school, and I had scholarship offers from 90 to 150 schools. But I chose Virginia because number one, it was a great academic institution. Number one, football was never a guarantee. If I had an injury or something, I definitely wanted a good degree to fall back on. And then number two, I just felt a sense of loyalty. That's where I'm from. And everybody in the state knew who I was and had supported me in high school. And I just decided to stay there. And I got an opportunity to play with some really good players: Tiki Barber, Rondé Barber, James Ferrier, Patrick Curran, a lot of guys that I had a chance to play with. So it was a great experience.
Well, after 4 years at Virginia, you definitely left your mark there. You finished as the Virginia Cavaliers' rushing leader in yards with 3,998, passing Tiki Barber, who had 3,389 yards. I know records are meant to be broken, but your record still stands there at Virginia. Does that mean anything to you?
It definitely means a lot. That was a great time in my life. College is a really, really special time for you because, you get a chance to practice in life, which, means you don't have any bills at that time. And, except for, a couple of little bills here and there, but you don't have any major bills. You get a chance to meet different people and different cultures and experience things you didn't get to experience in high school. I still love the University of Virginia. I still support them. I actually had an academic scholarship, Thomas Quinn Jones, the first academic scholarship, and there were 30 students from the state of Virginia, my part of Virginia, southwestern Virginia, and the coal mining areas that graduated from the University of Virginia on my scholarship, including 3 of my younger sisters.
Thomas, I see you have your bachelor's degree in psychology. Does that sound right?
Yes, psychology. I was a psych major.
I'm a senior in high school, and I just finished taking a psychology class, and it was very interesting. What did you think about it?
I thought it was really interesting, the way people think, and just the fact that, certain parts of your brain determine, certain thought processes, certain emotions. It's just amazing, man. Your brain is like it's the biggest computer on the planet. Honestly, and it's very, very untapped. A lot of people don't even tap into what their brain could possibly do. And it's just amazing how powerful your brain is. But I think that, psychology was, I studied primate psychology, sports psychology, child psychology, sports psychology, and I have to say that it helped me, over the course of my career because mentally during the NFL there's a lot going on. You have to be able to focus, and you have to be able to block a lot of things out. You have to be able to handle a lot of emotional issues, on the field and off the field. I think my psychology degree definitely did me well.
With the 7th overall pick in the 2000 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select running back Thomas Jones out of the University of Virginia. What was it like to hear your name called up to the podium?
It was an amazing feeling, to be selected. I watched the draft every year since I was a kid, and you always see all these guys get drafted, and they walk out on stage and put their hat on, and instantly their lives change. And it was a great day. My family was at the draft, and I had an opportunity to hear my name called backstage, and hug my family and walk out on stage and shake Paul Tagliabue's hand and give me my jersey and put the hat on. And it was just an unforgettable moment. I was really, I don't know. It was a dream. It was a dream. It's like I was sleepwalking. It really didn't hit me until I actually got to Arizona, and then the real work started.
Yeah, I see you actually split reps with one of my guys, Michael Pittman. What was it like to team up with him, and how was your rookie year in Arizona?
It was great playing with Michael Pittman. You know, I mean, Michael Pittman actually was a mentor to me. He was a great player, a hard worker, dedicated, tough guy. Took pride in the little things. Making running his routes the right way at the right depth. Being a tough guy in pass protection, catching the ball in the backfield. These are all things that I knew about in college, but NFL is a different level, and I was blessed enough to have somebody like Michael Pittman in front of me that could actually teach me. I had the skill set to play in the league, but mentally, I had to develop a certain type of edge to me, and just being around him and watching how he went about his business every day, practicing in the games. I mean, it created a different type of player, and I'll forever be thankful to him for that. He's a really good friend, really great person, and we had some really good times.
In 2003, you were traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did you expect the Cardinals to trade you at the time?
You know what? I mean, it was a business first and foremost. Football second. And that's how it has to be. It's $1 billion industry. I definitely was expecting something to happen. My first couple of years were tough in Arizona. I was misdiagnosed my rookie year. I had ribs that were out of line, and I was misdiagnosed. And the Cardinals trainers told me I had valley fever. They told me I had acid reflux. I mean, they told me a whole bunch of different things when all I had to do was go to the chiropractor. So for about 6 months straight, I had shortness of breath. And plus, I was on different types of medication that I really didn't need. And I think from that point on, I had my ups and downs in Arizona, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason, But, after my third year, I knew that, something had to be done because, for me to be there another year, it just didn't for everybody. So, yeah, they ended up trading me to Tampa, which was really the start of my career.
Yeah, when you were traded to the Bucs, did you know what your role would be like with them?
I had no idea. All I know is that they traded me, they had 6 or 7 tailbacks on the roster. They traded me late in the game, right before training camp. So, I had a late start. But, the good thing about that is, I went to a team that just won the Super Bowl. They had a lot of notoriety, really, really good players. I actually got a chance to feel like, a football player, because I had a fresh start. I didn't have all the stuff that I had to deal with in the beginning with, the confusion with the coaches and the confusion with the organization. And, I'll forever be grateful to those in the class for giving me an opportunity, to play in the NFL. I mean, guys would, do anything to have that situation, but it just didn't work out. So when I got to Tampa, and John Gruden was the coach, me and John Gruden sat down in his office, and he played some of my college tape, and he said, who's this guy right here? And I looked, and obviously it's me. And he goes, when did you get back to this guy, number 6? Because I think I'm about one college, and I was 26 in Arizona. And he made me wear number 6 during practice. I wore 22 during the games, but I wore number 6 in practice, and it was just an amazing turnaround.
You spent one season in Tampa Bay, and you had a little over 620 yards and 3 touchdowns. Then you were a free agent and signed with the Chicago Bears. Thomas, I'm sure the Bears weren't the only team that offered you a contract. I could be wrong, but why did you choose to sign with Chicago?
Growing up as a kid, I always loved Chicago Bears. I was a huge Walter Payton, Anderson fan. Just the mystique of the Chicago Bears, the city. I remember when I was in, primary school. I used to, write the color of the CN on my paper. In class. I was supposed to, I guess I was supposed to be doing something else, homework or whatever we were doing in class. But I was drawing the Chicago Bears C, on my paper. And I thought about those things when I was a free agent because I was a top free agent that year, top free agent running back. And an opportunity came up for me to go to Chicago when it didn't work out with Tampa, where I wanted to really stay. I wanted to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer for the rest of my career. I loved it there. I loved the fans. I loved the city. I loved everything about Tampa. But, the business kind of got in the way, and I was able to, sign with Chicago. And, that turned out to be a blessing, too.
Yeah, your first year in Chicago, you rushed for over 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. And in the 2005 NFL draft, the Bears drafted running back Cedric Benson with the 4th overall pick. Were you surprised at all that they drafted a running back early in the draft?
I was surprised because they just brought me in. But then again, I wasn't surprised because, I'd been through ups and downs before. And, I learned to just play with a chip on my shoulder and not worry about the organization or the management's decisions and focus on my play on the field. And that's what I did. I put all the nonsense behind me and just started to focus on my career and who I was as a running back, how I wanted to be defined. And then that's what I was able to do.
You guys are listening to Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, talking with former NFL running back and the owner of Team IME, Thomas Jones. Thomas, let's talk about the 2006 NFL season as you were still with the Bears. In that season, you rushed for over 1,200 yards. So it was a great season for you, but it was also a great season for your team as you guys went 13-3. The defense was great, and I don't know what to say about the special teams. You guys went to the playoffs to defeat the Seahawks in the divisional round and the New Orleans Saints in the NFC Championship game. Can you just tell us about the season from a player's point of view?
It was a great season. Actually to make it all the way to the Super Bowl is an amazing accomplishment. It's really, really hard to do. Some players play, 10, 15 years and never get to the Super Bowl. So, I was able to make it. It was awesome. So that season was great. I ended up having another 1,000-yard season, my second consecutive 1,000-yard season, and also my brother Julius Jones, who played for the Cowboys at that time. We both went over 1,000 yards for the season, making us the first brother and then to go for over 1,000 yards in the same season in NFL history, which was also special. And then, just the fact that we were able to get a home field advantage in the playoffs and then win 2 games at home. The Super Bowl was a great experience. Obviously, we didn't win. To win the NFC Championship game, in Chicago in the snow, with all those fans there, and it was just an amazing, another dream. It was almost like you're sleepwalking again.
Yeah, you said it. You guys went on to play the Indianapolis Colts in the Super Bowl. You said it was a great experience. Can you tell us what it was like to just watch a rookie at the time, Devin Hester, return the opening kickoff for a touchdown as you were getting ready to get on the field?
It was amazing, man. Come on. This is the opening kickoff for the Super Bowl. You're expecting a guy to get a good return. Everybody's, nervous, and excited, and, running a whole bunch of emotions. But, this guy caught it and took it back like it was practice. It was unbelievable to see, and obviously from that point, we felt we were in good shape. But, it's like games 4 quarters, we didn't play 4 quarters and pull it off.
Thomas, I got to ask you, what do you think about the city of Chicago?
Man, the city of Chicago is one of the best cities, if not the best city for fans. Just the history, the Bears, the fact that they're so loyal. It's a blue collar town, and that's what I used to pride myself on. I was a hard worker. I wasn't afraid to get my hands dirty. I stayed in the weight room. I stayed watching film, and that's the city of Chicago. I lived in Grays Lake, which is a beautiful area, and I was always in Chicago, in the city, Michigan Avenue, and on the South Side, doing shopping and things like that. And it was just a beautiful city, man. To be honest, I always have love for Chicago. The bands, Gibsons. There's just so many different things I can say about Chicago. Even when I go back now, I'll never be able to go back to Chicago and not feel like I'm on the team. I actually shot an episode of this TV show Shameless that comes on Showtime, and they were shooting an episode of Chicago. And I hadn't been back to Chicago since I played there. I played Chicago with the Chiefs a couple years ago. And every time I land on O'Hare Airport or Midway, and I go into the city, the first thing I think about is the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game, and driving to Soldier Field every Sunday morning, staying at the hotel downtown, and it's just a lot of really good memories. I was truly blessed to have a chance to play there, and with all the players that played in the past, Walter Payton and Jim McMahon and Mike Singletary. These are all people that I grew up idolizing, watching, and I had a chance to play in the same locker room, same stadium, wear the same helmet they wore. So, I can't say enough about the city of Chicago or Chicago Bears.
Yeah, man, those sound like some great memories. And Thomas, in March of 2007, you were traded to the New York Jets for a second-round draft pick. I know it's a business. You said it earlier, but I got to ask you this again. Were you surprised at all by the trade?
I wasn't surprised by the trade because, there again, it was a business move. And, the Bears had invested, in Cedric Benson and him being so young, and he relationship, and me and Lovey were really, really close. I actually had known Lovey when I was in high school because he coached at the University of Tennessee where my dad had worked. I knew Lovey, and my dad knew Lovey since then, so me and Lovey were really close. But I didn't take it personal. That was just another chance for me to go somewhere else and experience another situation, another team, another city, another blessing. It's a big world out here. I'm getting an opportunity to travel and playing football, doing something I love.
Yeah, man, your first year with the Jets, you had a nice year with your third straight 1,000-yard season. You guys went on to finish the season 4-12. Now, that 2008 season, you went crazy, Thomas. I mean, you just went crazy, having over 1,300 yards, 15 total touchdowns, and you're the starting running back for the AFC team in the Pro Bowl. Being voted to the Pro Bowl, does that mean anything to you?
Going to the Pro Bowl is a huge accomplishment. That's like the Oscar. It's the highest individual award that you can pretty much get as a pro player. Obviously Super Bowl is huge. MVP in the league is huge. But to be voted to the Pro Bowl team is, have a Pro Bowl jersey at your house and have it hanging up is it's just an amazing accomplishment. It's something that, every once in a while I look at the jersey and I still can't believe I made it to the Pro Bowl. There's an old saying that we say once a Pro Bowler, always a Pro Bowler. And it's just an amazing accomplishment, and just almost like, being a Grammy Award-winning artist or an Oscar winner. It has that type of mystique, Obviously there's a lot of politics behind it. It's really, there's a lot of, things that are out of your control. But all you can do is go out there and play the best you can and lay it on the line. And with 3 weeks left in the season, see who the fans and the coaches and your teammates voted for. And, I was blessed enough that I had a chance to be on that team and next to be a starter. It was amazing.
Thomas, after your time in New York, you went on to play with the Kansas City Chiefs, where you would team up with Jamal Charles, who now is one of the best running backs in the NFL, in my opinion, and I'm sure in others' opinions. What can you tell us about the talented Jamal Charles?
Jamal is just a guy doing it big. There's nothing you can say about him. The guy has speed. He has quickness, great vision. His vision. He might have the best vision of any running back that I've ever been around. Period in my whole career. The guy sees things before they happen. It's hard to explain. It's just a God-given ability. With his speed, what he sees, and his acceleration. It's just, you can't stop the guy. That was just 6 yards of carry. That's unheard of in the NFL. 6 yards of carry. That means a second and 4 every time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
On first down. That helps your team out a lot, and he terrorizes defenses. Defense coordinators, they stack the box against the guy, but if one guy got a place or one guy falls or slips or overruns the play, it's a touchdown potentially. So this guy not only is he a great football player, he's a great person. I took him under my wing when I got to Chicago. I wanted to make him feel, like my brother. I'm always trying to be that type of player, with guys that I work with, from, Sean Green to Leon Washington to, Cedric Benson, to any running back that I've been on. I try to take them under my wing and try to do as much as I can by, using my experience. I've always been a team player. Of course, in the NFL, you want the ball. We're offensive guys. So, if we don't get the ball and make plays, then we really don't have a job. But, at the same time, I've always tried to help guys out, make sure that I'm doing the best I can to leave my legacy, which I want guys to think of me as a teacher and, a big brother. That means more to me than anything else.
Thomas, as a running back, what are your thoughts on what Jamal Charles and Adrian Peterson did just this past season after they're tearing their ACLs in the 2011 season?
To be honest, I personally don't know if I could have done that. I don't think people really understand how hard it is to tear your ACL, how gruesome of an injury that is. And I think people hear it so much, they think it's it's protocol, but to tear your ACL is it's a horrible injury, man. It's horrible. And for these guys to come back the next season and be able to make plays and perform better than they did when they were hurt. That says a lot about their work ethic, their dedication, their courage. The courage to get back out there knowing that possibly they could tear their ACL again. It takes a lot of heart to do that, to go out there with all these defensive guys that are trying to take your head off, diving at your legs, twisting you up in the pile, and you're able to go out there week in and week out, put those big numbers up is amazing. So, I mean, honestly, those two guys, to be honest, should get the comeback player of the year award. My opinion, they should share that because what they did this year after those ACLs was just amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, I know Peyton Manning had a lot of time to heal with that neck injury, but he didn't even play at all in the 2011 season, so I don't really like that he's considered in it. I know that might sound a little bogus, but I would definitely go with Jamal Charles or Adrian Peterson with the comeback player of the year.
Big Peyton Manning is hands down, to me, the best player in the league. He's the best player in the league, and I think he's proven that over the years. One season away from the Colts last year, and they went from a playoff contender to just the team that was in the top 10 in the draft picks. Adrian Peterson definitely is an MVP candidate, and honestly, I think Adrian Peterson should get the MVP just because. Would they have made it to the playoffs without this guy? No. But then again, Denver probably would have made it to the playoffs either. So it's a toss-up. But even though Peyton Manning had a lot of time off. This guy he's a head coach on the field, which it gives the team so much of an advantage. But then again, Adrian Peterson is running the ball. Peyton Manning is throwing it. It's two totally different jobs. Adrian Peterson has to run and jump and cut and do all those things, which is a lot. It's a lot harder physically than Peyton Manning's job. But they're both equally as important. So it's a toss-up.
Thomas, I have just a few fun, quick questions for you. Then I want to talk about your company, Team IME. Does that sound good?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to start off with, what is your favorite TV show and movie? Favorite TV show and movie?
Favorite TV show? A show I could watch all day, every day. That I used to watch as a kid.
What's that?
Probably Saved by the Bell, dude.
Oh, yes.
It comes on MTV too.
Oh, man.
I'm addicted, man. Every morning I'm up. After I work out, Saved by the Bell is on, and I'm on the couch watching Saved by the Bell marathons, dude. It brings back good TV memories. And then what was the other favorite what?
Movie.
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
I think a movie is probably The Goonies.
All right. Thomas, what's your favorite thing to eat?
Everything to eat is pancakes.
Except for football, what is your favorite sport?
Favorite sport was basketball. I love basketball. If I was a little taller, I probably would have tried to play basketball. I had over 1,000 points in high school, so I love basketball.
And Thomas, I know you're on Twitter at Thomas Jones RB. Why do you make it important to connect with your fans?
I think that Twitter. I recently started tweeting a lot more because I started playing football and I have a lot of things going on outside of football. And it's a great way to reach out to fans. A great way to connect with people. Who are not only just fans, but just everyday people. Everybody. It's an opportunity to reach out and network and do some good things. I'll talk to you on Twitter and let you know we're doing a great interview. It's amazing. But I want fans to understand, what I'm doing and how I'm doing and the projects I'm working on. And since they support me on the field, I'd love them to support me off the field and the things that I'm doing as well. It's my company, Independently Major Entertainment. It's an entertainment company where we have everything from TV, films to documentaries to music. You can check us out at teamime.com. I'm doing a football documentary right now. It's called The NFL, The Gift or the Curse, and it's a 6-part docuseries on the problems NFL players deal with outside of football. And basically, I wanted the fans to get an opportunity to kind of see life through our eyes because it's easy to look at the money and, all the perks of being in the NFL, but, a lot of times they don't get a chance to see the negatives, which, sometimes outweigh the positives.
Yeah, Thomas, you definitely have my support on everything you're doing. Last but not least, if you were able to meet anybody, who would that person be and why?
If I was able to meet anybody, I would definitely want to meet Martin Luther King Jr. I would definitely want to meet him. Obviously, he's powerful, civil rights leader I think sometimes we forget about where we came from because we have it a lot easier now. But during those times, Martin Luther King, was a brave person. I mean, he knew ultimately gave his life for the cause, and by him giving his life, he gave me an opportunity to live my life the way I'm living it. And I'm very grateful and thankful for him. I know it's Martin Luther King, holiday season, and I'm just, he's the kind of person that I definitely would try to pattern myself off of as far as his courage and determination, and everything he stood for. So yeah, definitely Martin Luther King.
All right, Thomas, you have your own company, Team IME, Team Independently Major Entertainment. The team includes yourself, Domingo Ramos, Maiko, Jen Rodriguez, T-Tone, Blow, Bez Believe, and Reggie Bahaman. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those. Thomas, what is Team...
You just destroyed a couple of names, man. With Miko, which is all easy to do. Miko Enriqueo, Ronaldo Bahaman, he's a director of films. Domingo Ramos is a Grammy-winning producer and singer-songwriter. Also was a major executive at Atlantic Records. Curtis Blow is an artist from Tampa, St. Pete, and Jen Rodriguez is a singer from Miami. So we have a lot going on. Hope you check us out. It's Independently Major Entertainment. The Twitter is @Team IME. The website is teamime.com. It's Independently Major Entertainment, IME. Please go check out the website, check out the music. We have a lot of things going on. All the fans out there follow me in my career in the NFL. I would really, really love and appreciate your love and support, what I'm doing with the documentary, the NFL Get Better Curse, and my artists. We're making really good music. We're putting on, really good feature films and really good documentaries, pretty entertaining. So I just want to thank all the fans out there for supporting me my whole career and following me now. Life is short, man, it's pretty simple if you really look at it, as far as how I try to look at life. Obviously everybody has their own problems, but people are people, and if we can all reach out and help each other in some way, I think that's really important because you never know what's going to happen. So I just want to thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to this interview, and I just want to thank all the fans for listening. Go Bears, and hopefully, man, I'll give you an opportunity to talk to a lot of people on Twitter after this interview.
Hey, sounds good. Thomas, before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to plug on the air for our listeners or myself?
Say one more time, bro. I couldn't hear you.
Is there anything else you would like to plug on the air for myself or my listeners?
Oh, man. Listen, man. This has been a great interview, man. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate you thinking back in my career, man. You brought a lot of memories back, man, and I really appreciate that. When you retire a lot of times, sometimes people kind of, you have an opportunity to close the chapter in your life, which is what I did with football, but you kind of reopened it a little bit, which is always good sometimes to go back to the positive times in your life. So yeah, man, I really appreciate you for this interview, and I really appreciate love and all the fan support. And, that's it. Hopefully you guys can hit me up on Twitter if you need interviews, if you need something from me, and I'll definitely reach out to you guys on Twitter. So just keep following me at Thomas Jones RB and at Team IME on Twitter.
All right, hey, Thomas, I really appreciate your time. And one last thing, and that is if you have any music that you would like us to share, just hit me up on Twitter, and I'll be happy to play it on the show, man.
Okay, I got you, brother. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks. Take care, man.